Tiffany T, Bio 235, Week 3 lab video, axial skeleton, cranial bones, frontal, parietal, occipital, external occipital protuberance for muscle attachment, temporal mandibular joint process, styloid process, external acoustic meatus, squamous part, internal view, petrous part of the temporal bone that houses the middle and internal ear cavities for hearing and balance. Acoustic meatus that has cranial nerves 3, 4, and 6 and helps control eye movement. Lesser wing and greater wing of the sphenoid, cortical canal, and stella tertia that holds the pituitary gland. Ethmoid, crystal galea that attaches the phalanx, form palate that has filaments of olfactory nerves that pass through it. Suture created by the frontal and the parietal bone. Squamous suture created by the occipital bone and the parietal bone. Sagittal suture created by both bilateral parietal bones. Rhomboid suture created by the parietal bone and the occipital facial bones. Maxilla, alveolar process. Zygomatic bone, along with the squamous part, forms the zygomatic arch, the vomer, inferior nasal concha, mandible, the body of the mandible, the angle of the mandible, the ramus of the mandible, mandibular condyle, mandibular notch, internally on the mandible, the coronoid process. Vertebral column with 4 curves with a cervical curvature, thoracic curvature, lumbar curvature, sacral curvature. There are 7 cervical vertebrae with the atlas that articulates the skull. Thoracic vertebrae, there are 12. Transverse process, intervertebral foramen, which the spinal cord passes through. Centrum, intervertebral discs. Lumbar vertebrae, there are 5. The sacrum, there are 5 fused together to create the sacrum, and the coccyx. Sternum, mandibrium, body, xiphoid process, and jugular notch. Ribs, true ribs, false ribs, vertebral floating ribs, head of the rib, neck of the rib, tubercle of the rib. They all articulate to the vertebrae at the superior costal facet, the articular facet on the tubercle of the rib, at the intervertebral discs.